Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. All right. I can give you the password, no problem. You can start the password. Okay. In the previous class, we talked about accounting equation. And we will continue that accounting equation because there's a small portion is left in that to finish.
77 20 49 59.
Okay, so now this equation all of you remember, and we have done the last example. In the last class, the last example, we talked about capital introduced. Did we discuss that the owner brought additional capital? Now what we are going to do, so here non-current assets plus current asset is equal to the original capital he introduced at the start of the business plus any profits he made minus any drawings during the business plus in case that owner want to bring additional capital, then the capital introduced plus non-current liabilities and current liabilities, not chlorine. Cl also chlorine means, okay? Right. Now, what is the very first equation? Anyone can tell me? The first equation we learned in accounting equation.
Asset
Is equal to, let me change the color. Asset is equal to capital. This is the first equation. Now, if I write like this, you tell me whether I am writing something right or wrong. Asset is equal to capital plus liability of 0. What I have written here, is there any difference between these two? Same. Mathematically, these two are same. The liability amount is 0 plus capital is equal to asset. Now we will do some mathematical play here. We go to our school days and do some maths. Now you see, if I bring a crane, you know crane, that carrying items, and I carry this and I transport to the other side of the bridge, what will happen to this side?
minus.
It will become
Minus.
This is plus here. I am transporting that to other side of the bridge. So when I am bringing other side of the equation, then that becomes what? Asset minus liability of 0 is equal to capital. Understand? That's very clear. So this is a basic mathematics rule. So if you have plus here, and when you bring it to the other side of the equation, that plus will become minus. If you have minus, if you bring it to the other side, what will become? It will become plus. So that basic principle you must know. Right. Now, from accounting point of view, the difference between these two, asset minus liability, between these two, name, we have a name called net asset is equal to capital. The asset minus liability even 0, but asset minus liability is net asset, but that net asset we have a different name, capital. But this equation, when in our journey, in our accounting study journey, this equation we studied very first. Can I say this equation is at the beginning of our business? Start, very first, beginning. Any difference? in our, let's say this is a business we are doing. For example, this Mr. A's business. So first transaction we recorded at the beginning, meaning this equation at the beginning. So this net asset here is the net asset at the beginning. Clear? So any items at the beginning, from a mathematics point of view, we use the number 1. So I write here net assets 1 is equal to C. That is just for the symbols. Don't worry about it. And I can now, what I can do, I can write it in short. I will take the first letter of this word and the first letter of this word. How will I write them? NA. NA1 is equal to C. In chemistry point of view, Na is what? Anyone can tell me?
Again?
Chemistry, science. Na means what?
Na?
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen N, bus. Na is what?
Sodium?
Sodium, exactly. Sodium.
Nitrat sodium.
Yes. So, Na1 is equal to C. C is not calcium, capital. Okay. So, Na1 is this. Now we go to the last equation. What is my last equation? This is my last equation, right?
Yeah.
After this, there is no more equation. No, non-current asset plus current asset is equal to capital plus profits minus drawings plus capital introduced plus non-current liability plus current liability. Now I will write that down here again. NCA plus CA is equal to C plus P minus D plus CI, this goes together, plus NCL plus CL. That's clear?
This D similar like what?
Pardon?
D similar.
Drawings.
Similar like what?
What do you mean? Some like drawings. You know what the meaning of drawings?
Drawings,
Partners'
no.
drawings, owner's drawings. The owner taking items or cash for his personal purpose.
Okay. Just listen.
Yeah. So now, if I take the total of these two, how can you say? Non-current assets plus current assets. In other words, that is total assets. Correct. So can I write A is equal to C plus P minus D plus CI. And what is the total of these two? Liability. So that is L. Correct? Now this equation at the beginning or at the end? When this is?
Beginning.
La. Beginning hada habibi hari. This one beginning at the start. And this one last. At the last. Meaning at the end. So this equation we have here is at the end of the business. Clear? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the same crane and pull this L and transport to other side of the equation. If I do that, A minus L is equal to C plus P minus D plus CI. Now, we already know the meaning of the word, this equation. A minus L is what? Net assets. Very good. So, net assets is equal to C plus P minus D plus CI. Now, net asset in short, how do we say? N?
One.
NA. NA. And this NA at the beginning or at the end? At the end. At the beginning we denote it as NA1. So at the end we should denote as NA2. Exactly. At the beginning we denote the net asset as NA1. Now at the end we denote the net asset as NA2 is equal to C plus P minus D plus CI. Is that clear?
There is no.
Okay. Can I continue, Baha?
Sorry.
Can I continue or?
Let's continue.
Okay. Right. Now you see, we try to go back to grade 8 maths class. In grade 8 maths class, you probably studied A is equal to B, B is equal to C. That means A is equal to
C.
You remember studying this in your school days. Now you see, I have an equation here. Na1 is equal to what?
C.
C, correct? Now here, in this equation, I have this C here. Instead of this C, can I use Na1? I can use, right? So we'll do that now. So Na2 is equal to Na1 plus P minus D plus Ci. If you did not understand, let me tell me. Until you understand, I will not go to the next step. Yes, sir, you clear?
Yes.
Baha?
Yes.
Okay. Others okay?
Why did Na1 come after this equation?
Here,
Yeah.
you will understand that in the next slide. So there is a reason why I substituted the C with Na1. Now what I am going to do, now follow me. I am going to take this Na1 to the other side of the equation. If I do that, now what's going to happen?
Na2
Na2,
minus
correct. Na1 is equal to P minus D plus Ci. Now, please tell me the meaning of Na2. Na2 is what? The total assets minus the total liability on which date? If I give you a date, 1st of January, 31st December. Now tell me, total asset minus total liability of which date is Na2?
It was December.
31st December. You should understand that. When we say at the end, meaning the time period, the last date. And what about the total asset minus total liability on 1st of January? Na1. So that is the net asset at the beginning, this is the net asset at the end. So therefore now you see, I have net asset at the end minus net asset at the beginning. Meaning, let's say example, this is 200 and this is 100. What is the answer? 100 plus or minus?
Plus.
Plus. Meaning what? Increase of net asset by how much? 100. So from beginning to end, my net asset increased by 100. Is that clear? Farm?
Yes.
Okay. Why this increase? Because of these three reasons. My net asset in my business increased. One reason could be we have made profits. Some of my net asset level could have gone down because my partner owner has taken some money. Or my business partner or my owner, shareholder, he brought additional capital. Because of that also, my net asset increased. So the three reasons for the increase or decrease in our net asset. Now previous example I gave you 200 minus 100. Another example, 150 minus 250. At the end, how much I have? 150. At the beginning, how much I have? 250. What happened now? 100 reduced. Yeah, minus meaning reduced. So that again due to this reason. So we call it increase or decrease in net assets. The starting word is increase or decrease. In increase, first letter is I. So what I now do, I is equal to P minus D plus CI. So you should understand the meaning of this I. I means increase or decrease in net assets. I will write it down here. Increase or decrease in net asset. Clear? But F3 exams, they want to calculate profit. They don't want to calculate this. They want to calculate this. So we should now know what is P. From this equation, can you think how to rewrite P is equal to what? Give it effort for 1 minute. And if I will write P is equal to, how this equation will change?
CI minus I minus D.
I didn't understand. Can you write down there? I will check.
Yeah. CI
I
minus
plus
D
D
minus I.
minus CI is equal to P.
How?
I
Huh?
plus D minus CI is equal to
That's
P.
correct.
If we bring on
What you write was wrong. See, here this is plus.
Yeah.
This also plus. See here, you see, the sign over here is plus. The sign over here is what? Plus. So both the signs are plus. And then if you write here, now P is on the other side of the equation, then can both the sign be plus? Can't, no. Mathematically, brother, you see now. I want P. So P is equal to this. Already what is the sign here? Plus. So that I want to move. It is there. That is in his house. He is not moving. So he don't need to change his dress. He is inside his house. But these fellows are guests. These two are guests. So when the guest is going, they need to go with the proper dress. Correct? So that's why the signs are there. So now what you do is, you move this minus D to the other side of the bridge. When you bring it to the other side of the bridge, this minus will become what?
plus.
Plus. And this plus, when you carry to this side of the equation, that becomes minus. And this is the final equation.
But
that
we remove B only. We move B from right side to left side only. Why
okay,
you change-
we'll do that. Same answer will come.
Same?
This is what
Same answer
I
will come.
told.
The same answer will come.
Yeah.
You see, brother Yasser, equation I will rewrite, okay? I is equal to C, not C, I'm sorry.
B.
No.
B no
Yeah. P plus
minus
I'm sorry. Minus D plus
CI.
CI. Now you saying me to
Keep
move
the P
this
there.
side.
Yes.
But then what will happen to this side?
Will go there.
That's exactly what we did though.
Okay.
Okay, now I
in
will
this
do that.
case, I will come minus.
Correct. No issues. Now this P is what? Here P is what?
Okay.
Plus. If you bring to this side, what will happen?
Minus.
Minus. So minus P is equal to this I is what?
Plus.
Then that when you bring it to this side, what will happen? Minus I
Okay.
minus D
Yes.
plus CI. But we can't keep the P with this sign. We need to convert to plus. In doing that, what you need to do, entire equation you should multiply by minus. If you multiply by minus, minus into minus,
Plus.
this will become plus P. Am I right? And then minus I into minus, plus
Plus.
I, minus D into minus, plus D, plus CI will become minus CI. Without doing this, I did it in shortcut. That's what I did it here. But please remember, this is the final equation. In this equation, exam questions are there, that we will do now. clearly, if you clearly understood the basics of the accounting equation, then approaching many of the accounting questions will be very easy. Then next level we need to study double entry. The double entry is developed from these principles. Because here you see we have an equation, you know. The total of one side of the equation must be equal to the total of the other side of the equation. Double entry also same. The total of all the debits should be equal to total of all the credits. Okay, now let's try some questions. Okay. I will share this or we discuss from here. This first question. Can you all tell me the answer to this first question? If you understood that story what we studied so far, these are the questions that is going to come in the exam which we should be able to answer.
Exam coming is like
Same like this. Yes. Shall I share the question to your group? Or anyway, this you already have in your book. See, they are using the word here, how the accounting equation can be rewritten. You can shuffle it. That is mushakkat. After that, what is the correct equation?
What's meaning 2 marks? You have to select 2?
No, Habibi. If you
What
tell
do you have?
answer correctly,
Ah.
you get 2 marks. Yani total 100 marks in the exam. Every single question you are right, you are putting 2 marks into your bag. And you need minimum 50 marks in the bag to pass. See, profit is P, drawings D. Asset minus liability is the total, I mean year end. So asset minus liability NA 2. And closing capital also NA 2, remember. So they are just playing with this and tell me the correct answer.
Number 3.
Number 3. What about others?